know what's not going to ruin the friendship? A round of some lighthearted hot topics. Let's get into it. Today I'm joined by comedian Sherri Dindal, aka the real Slim Sherri, King 5 producer, and huge Taylor Swiftie, Taylor Pomasl, and New Day producer Alexis Robertson. Hello, girl power. You can do whatever you want, Sherri. You guys, I want to first start with something that maybe isn't the happiest news. The government shutdown. It's impacting flights across the country. The FAA is now reporting staffing issues at airports causing delays. Sherri, you just flew in.
Yes.
I want your hot take. How did everything go?
I flew in from Atlanta and I was nervous. I got there, it wasn't bad. And then I got here to Seattle and it was great.
Really?
Yeah, it was. I was impressed with how easily I just got my bag and left. It was very.
That's the first time I've ever heard that.
Yes.
That's a hot take in itself.
I don't know.
People hide on it.
I don't know if it's because I'm used to flying out of Atlanta, which is the busiest airport, and it's crazy, it's chaos. So you just kind of expect that all the time. Then I got here and I was like, oh, I expected it to be crazy, and it was easy.
And did you have a check bag or carry-on?
I did have a check bag.
You did?
I did. Went right. Now they did switch my carousel twice, but it was like.
Oh, well, there has to be something. It couldn't be that perfect.
But it went from 4 to 2 to 3, so they stayed in the same vicinity. I didn't have to walk
I'll
away.
take it.
Across the country right now, it's not that easy though. I saw like the Burbank airport was completely like TSA, or what was it, the air traffic control.
Yeah.
They had no air traffic control last night for hours.
Don't tell me that.
I know.
I was flying 5.5
everything
hours.
was
That
fine,
sounds
though.
crazy.
Yeah, what could go wrong?
Because they were controlling it remotely, right?
Yes,
Is that
so
what's
they were still
happening?
able to land the planes,
Yeah.
but I mean.
Oh my goodness.
The fact
I don't
that
know,
they
the
didn't
peace of
have
mind.
anyone there, because Taylor and I were just discussing how we're not the best flyers.
The worst flyer in the world. I'm white knuckled. Like the entire, I sit down in my seat and I just sit there like this, like staring at the screen for how much longer is the flight, for 6 hours, 3 hours, whatever it is, and then I've got all clammy when I get off.
Oh, I'm the
every
same
time.
way. People ask me, are you going to watch a movie? Are you going to do anything? And I'm like, no, I think I'm just going to sit here.
Just zone out for
and
5
just stare
hours.
straight. Yeah. I love that I'm not alone in this. You guys, I want to talk about something really happy, though, and exciting. I don't know how you're going to feel about this since you're not from Seattle, but we'll see. The Mariners have won their first preseason home game since 2001 on Sunday to tie the series against the Tigers. And tonight, they're in Detroit for Game 3. Are we excited, y'all? I can't contain myself.
Is that something I'm supposed to be excited
Yes.
about?
Yes.
You say 2001?
Yes.
That's 24 years. That's
24
impressive.
years
That's
in the
awesome.
making. And I want to get to this one fan who I feel like is all of us from Seattle. Look at this amazing video that was captured. They kept going to him.
No.
He was getting so emotional because 24 years in the making. I get it. I feel like we all see ourselves
Yes.
in this sweet
That is
angel.
true love.
He's been waiting for this day.
I know.
My mom was even asking me like, "What's with the fan crying?" And I was like, "Well, 2001. That's
That's a
so
long time. It's a lifetime for some people. That's a long
Yes.
time.
We have to listen in. We have some sound too from news. Listen.
There is so much crying as a Mariners fan, and like, I don't really remember it. Like, Cal hit the double, and he did what he's done all year, and then Julio did it, and you just gotta cry, man. I guess it's really stupid, but I'm a Mariners fan.
That's so real.
I don't think it's stupid at all. It like makes me want to cry.
But there's no crying in baseball.
I
there
feel
is
like
not.
there is now.
The famous line, there's no crying in baseball.
He's changing all the rules.
Oh my
All of them.
gosh.
I mean, I guess he's allowed to change the rules.
Definitely. And what's exciting is only in a couple hours, around 1 o'clock, first pitch for Game 3. How are you feeling though? Because I hear you've spent some time in Detroit.
I spent many years in Detroit. Actually, I grew up 30 minutes just south of Detroit. I grew up with the Tigers and the Lions, not the Bears. But anyway, I grew up with them. And so, but the Tigers have had their share of stretches where they haven't had wins. They haven't always had a great run. And so, they had their share, and now they got to give it up to the Mariners.
Okay,
That's
so
great.
are you going to be rooting for the Mariners
Are they
today,
still?
Sherri?
Are they playing again or something?
Yes,
Yes. Playing
1
Detroit
o'clock.
again?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
It's the best of 5.
If anybody from Detroit is watching,
I I don't know. I think we're gonna convert you to be a Mariners
Hey,
fan.
I mean, I'm
Sherri.
here. I'm here until
The
Friday,
pressure.
so I guess I'm gonna have to pay attention.
There's
I'm gonna need to know.
time. 3 and 4. You can
There's
watch.
time for me to become a Mariners fan before I leave.
Absolutely.
Yes.
How can
Yes.
you not just
Do I have
watching
to
that
cry
guy?
when it's?
I think we all should cry.
We all have to
cry
cry.
at the end of
Okay.
this.
So are you going to cry if they lose? That's the question.
1,000%.
Time to talk about
We're
it.
not
We
gonna manifest it.
We're not. They're winning.
We're putting out there nothing but good vibes. Okay.
Yes.
We're gonna win.
You guys, now a bit of a history lesson for you guys. On this day, the life-changing music app Spotify was officially launched. And speaking of Spotify, Taylor Swift's new album broke a Spotify record last week. On October 3rd, The Life of a Showgirl became Spotify's most streamed album in a single day in 2025. And Swift also broke her own Spotify record with her new song, The Fate of Ophelia, which now holds the title for the most first-day streams in Spotify history.
That's awesome.
I'm going to get a little bit like the Mariners fan.
Are you going to cry?
I might cry.
Taylor, I love that. First of all, your name is Taylor,
I
and
know.
you're obsessed with Taylor Swift. This
Yeah.
is iconic. What, like you bought every single vinyl and CD before it came out?
I did. I hadn't heard a single thing because I had people in the newsroom talking about, you haven't heard a single song yet, and you've invested like hundreds of dollars into getting all of this merchandise. And I was like, I just know it's going to be good. Everything she does, I love. So I think by the end of it, I think I have something like 13 vinyls and maybe like 8 CDs coming. And they're slowly trickling in. I've been opening them all one by one, and it's emotional every time.
Okay, but I have to know. What do you think?
I know, because this album, the hot takes, there's been mixed
There's
feelings.
a lot of them.
A lot of feelings.
I think it's great. I am very easy to please, though. Everything she does, I'm just obsessed with. But I think the production on it is so wonderful. It very much gives like Reputation 1989 for me, and I love those albums. So it kind of throws back to that for me as far as the production. I think the lyrics are, I've heard so many hot takes about the lyrics. I think if you just accept, she kind of said like, it's gonna be poppy, it's gonna be fun, it's gonna be way lighter than my last one, I'm in a much better place than my last one, or like where I was when I put the Torture Poets department out. Things have changed, a new man in her life, and a
she's
ring.
engaged now.
I know.
The song Wood Alone.
Oh my
God. What do you think about that song?
I think it's so fun.
You think it's a bop?
I think it's so fun.
Okay.
I like, Sabrina Carpenter kind of has like a similar like lyrical style, and it's very like fun and flirty, and I think this is just Taylor's attempt at that. And I thought the whole thing was fun. If you just accept it for what it is, and it's like, it never was gonna be folklore or any of the other albums, it's a new era. So I think if you accept it for the new era, it's fun.
I was getting so many opinions that it was terrible, all this stuff. And so I guess going into it like that, I actually there were several songs I like. Elizabeth Taylor,
Yes!
I thought was a bop.
Opalite.
Yeah.
I like Opalite. I think that's my favorite one. It's obviously like the most catchy.
Yeah.
I listened to my first Taylor Swift album since Speak Now. I texted Taylor yesterday. I was like, this made me listen to it. I know, because she knows I'm not a Swiftie. I'm not a
Swiftie either.
But it was entertaining. I definitely see what people are talking about. I mean, Life of a Showgirl, I'm so sorry. It sounds just like a Jonas Brothers song. And so for me, I was like, but it sounds familiar, and I think that's what people like about the album, but also dislike is maybe they're expecting her to do something completely different like she always does.
Yeah.
So
Right.
it's like a little, songs kind of sound like other songs, and I think that might be something.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've heard a lot of marketing thing too. Like people wanted like can and like jazz hands, and they didn't quite get that. But I'm like, I don't know. I thought she looked
Taylor
gorgeous.
Swift?
So
I have girls at home that listen. That love Taylor. Yeah, I'm still stuck on the fact that you said you bought 8 vinyl records.
I know.
I did. I do have a record player, to be clear.
Well,
too.
you have to.
For a
but
while, I
Are you
didn't.
just collecting them and you're never going to open them, or are you actually going to play them?
It's a mix. Some I open, some are just for art.
Okay.
So I know that's
just the fact that vinyl's making a comeback. I love that.
Yeah, they're back.
Yeah.
They're back,
all
baby.
collected. Yeah.
What's also back, Ferrero Rocher, you guys. We have to taste test what's in front of us before we leave today. This is to celebrate the fact that Halloween is coming up, and I think we just need to dive in and taste some flavors. We have milk hazelnut, white hazelnut, dark hazelnut, caramel hazelnut.
Wow.
Just a ton going on here.
Okay.
Happy early
look good.
Halloween. Let me know what
who
you
doesn't want
think.
chocolate?
I mean,
Can't
chocolate
even
in
get
the
it
morning.
open.
All of our nails were like the struggle of
I can't even get it open.
Well, you know what? We'll eat it as
I'm
we
not
go to break.
supposed to taste it because I can't get it
can't
open.
wait to get it
My
open.
Halloween nails can't open this. Oh, there we go.
There we go. Sherri, I want to talk about you and your show, Gen X Takeover. What can you tell us about it?
It's a comedy tour for Gen Xers. Kind of not really just comedy. It's like a kind of variety show, if you will. Very nostalgic, funny, brings, just a generation that is known as the forgotten generation. So sort of like the takeover came from us just going and taking over cities and just having something that's for people that, are hitting midlife and, just need something to laugh about and feel nostalgic and can reconnect with their community.
How's the feedback been so far?
It's been great. Like we've played this show will be our 11th show we played in a year. We're doing the old person tour, by the way. We're not doing those multiple nights a week, but we spread them out. But no, this will be our 11th show. It's been a year, and we're just getting started. Like we've got tons of shows on the docket for next year.
Amazing. Where can people see it then?
We're playing this Thursday, October 9th. We're at the Emerald Queen Casino right here. Oh, actually not in Seattle, but Tacoma. But yeah, we're right here in this neck of the woods. Yeah.
Well, we're gonna have to check that out. And I'm also really excited to hear your hot take on this next thing, since you're a performer. A new actress in Hollywood and this has everyone in a tizzy. She's AI generated. Her name is Tilly Norwood. Big name stars like Whoopi Goldberg and Emily Blunt have spoken out against her, as well as the union. The union blasted the AI creation for using stolen performances to put actors out of work, jeopardizing performer livelihoods, and devaluing human artistry.
Yeah.
The creator, though, of the AI actress pushed back, saying, quote, AI is not a replacement for people, but a tool, and think of it like a new paintbrush. She looks so real.
Oh my gosh! She looks completely.
You wouldn't
legit.
know if you didn't know, right?
Exactly.
That's the
which
scary
makes
thing.
it eerie.
Well, I know the creator compared it to like animation, like animated films, which I think is a different level though. If you're trying to pass her off as a real person, I think that's kind of weird. And they said they modeled it after real actors.
Yeah.
So then they didn't give permission for that.
Good point.
So very, like, kind of a gray area.
I think it's a very slippery slope.
Really?
I really do. I think it's a slippery slope that once you start, like I think they're testing the waters with this one. I think to your point, when you think of animation, it's animation.
True.
This you can't tell unless somebody tells you that it's AI generated. And I think it's just testing the waters to see how people accept it. And I think it's a slippery slope. Once people get used to it, at what point do we not know if it's AI? You know what I mean? And then it does start replacing humans, and AI can't replace humans. That's the difference. And so I think it is a very slippery slope.
Yeah, Taylor, what are your hot takes?
I'm just baffled. I've never seen that before right now, and it looks completely. I wouldn't have never known if you hadn't said it. It looked. When I think animation, I think like colors and people sprinting off with smoke behind them.
We know, right?
Again.
It looks completely
right there. That was a shot for me that I was
Look
like,
at
oh no,
the
she's
expressions
100%
on her
real.
face. Like it looks realistic. I think the other weird thing is that AI, unless they choose to age them, they won't. Those actors don't age.
That's such a good point.
That is such a good point.
I mean, they're just they could forever live on forever.
Oh my
But
gosh.
I loved what you said. They can't replace humans. Like I can't
Yeah.
see AI taking over a show, a comedy skit, being able to
No,
interact
They
with
have,
the
they have
audience.
emotions and like
Yeah.
they're not
There's
like
no connection. I think that's where you, like for us, when I performed, there's a connection with the audience. There's a connection with my audience in general. And so I think when you don't have that human to human connection, and we're seeing more of that with social media, how there's this lack of, and people are wanting to get back to that. And I think AI just sort of even more drives home that need for human connection, and you won't have that. How do you go and get a picture with your favorite AI actor?
point.
You cast it up on
Unless they
on
start
the
having
wall.
like a wax, like
That's gonna be weird.
statue or something, and it all gets weird.
It is very weird.
you won with that point.
Yeah, mic drop there. So moving on to something really trendy and fun. This grocery store product has been selling out so quickly. I'm talking about Trader Joe's tote
Oh my
bag, but
gosh.
this is the Halloween
love them.
version, new themed. What do we think? Are you going to stand in line for these? I can't believe how fast they go. They're
They
viral.
go so fast. They sell out every single time. These are out on Wednesday, tomorrow. And I went to Trader Joe's yesterday to try and snag one early. I'm like, please, for the show. And they didn't even have them yet. They get them the day of. They're
Wait, when do
sold
they
out
release?
tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow
So
morning.
I have to be in line
Yes.
tomorrow here
Oh,
to
and
see if I can get one?
They
Yeah.
go crazy. I have a little spring one. I don't think I'll get these. Halloween colors are not really my thing, but
Yeah.
you know.
I love the Trader Joe's like fall products. I'm obsessed with all of the like food, they had this like butternut squash mac and cheese that I'm like, repeat. But the tote bags, I'm not standing in line for the tote bags.
I think they would be really cute for kids trick-or-treat bags.
They are. They make really
that's
that's a cute trick-or-treat
Yeah.
bag.
Yeah.
Except I feel like it needs to be bigger.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's pretty
they're not
small.
big
Maybe
enough.
like a baby.
No, they're like little totes.
We carried pillowcases, you know, so you had plenty of candy.
I liked the spring ones a lot because I liked the pastel colors and they fit a lot of my wardrobe. But I was like, these are really cute. But I had a team of people. It was me, my boyfriend, and one of my friends were at different Trader Joe's in the morning in different lines, and we all failed when the spring ones came out. I got them afterward on Facebook Marketplace. I did not get the real.
So that's
I wanted the big
both
one.
been on
and then
Facebook
resell
Marketplace.
It wasn't that bad. It was
Okay.
like $12 for two
Well,
totes.
people resell them for like $80.
Yes.
You see
That's
crazy
crazy.
amounts.
No.
They're,
I
once
don't
they
get
go
the
viral,
hype, but I'm happy that people love it and have something
mean,
that
it's a
they
bag.
enjoy.
it's a bag.
It's a bag.
It's a cute bag.
Cute bag. Don't get me wrong. Very
It's a bag.
Halloween. Very cute.
Since Halloween is just 3 weeks away, the annual report is out from All Recipes and DoorDash saying which state likes what candies. There it is, you guys. Any guesses? Because I don't know if you can see from there what Washington State's is. If you can't see,
I can't
it's
see.
Twix, y'all.
What?
I'm surprised at that too.
I would have not said Twix.
I thought we were maybe gonna go with like the caramel apple sucker.
Oh,
That would be a
yeah.
little like on
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Well, good
I don't
point.
see any candy corn on there.
No, nobody.
These are the real candy,
You don't see
Taylor.
those little peanut butter thingies either. Those nobody wants. Those.
No, see, California's Snickers, that I would agree with.
I'm trying
Because
to see
you're
what
from-
it
I'm from
says.
there.
California,
You're from West
right?
California?
Snickers.
Snickers.
What is Atlanta? I can't read that from here.
I can't see so far.
Oh, Sweet Smiles candy?
I don't know what that
That's
is.
a
Sweet
lie.
Smiles?
That's a lie.
That's a lie. What would yours be then, Sherri?
Reese cups.
Oh, so you say Reese's, I say Reese's.
I say Reese's
Well,
too.
I have a daughter named Reese, and we call her Reese. So I say Reese
No,
cups.
that's a debate. People don't
It
people
is.
say
It is
differently.
technically Reese's, but no, we all say Reese Pieces. Like it's if you eat
Reese
Oh my God.
Pieces is the cutest thing I've ever heard.
Reese Pieces, it's not Reese's Pieces. That's weird.
Well, we should just move on then, I guess, from there. Finally, I want to get to our last topic. There's a new study out of Canada that says emotional well-being is just as important as physical health when it comes to longevity. Researchers looked at more than 8,000 people over 60 and found that 1 in 4 were able to deliberately improve their health and happiness in just 3 years. So, what do we think, you guys? What are you doing every single day to add some years to your life?
Going to Sherri's comedy show.
Laughing is very
That's
good
true.
for you.
Yeah.
It's very good for you. No, as a person who's 53, I think that study is spot on. I think for younger people, they don't get there. You won't get there till a little bit later. But when you stop really worrying about what the world thinks of you and how the world perceives you, life gets a lot lighter, and you just stop caring about things that
You're
don't
making
matter.
me feel lighter right now.
So
I love
the
it.
sooner you get there, the more years you'll add to your life.
Do you
That's
have
true.
a moment in your life where you look back and you think that kind like that knob changed?
Oh yeah, yeah.
When was it?
Probably 49, right
I'm
before
like,
I
when
turned
can
50.
I look forward to
I
it?
wish
Really?
I wish I would have gotten there sooner. I really do wish I would have gotten there sooner. So I do like to, through social media, I share that with younger people. Like, listen, young people, stop caring about the things that don't really matter in life. Think about what really is most important. When you focus on those things, all those other things, like I said, they just don't feel as heavy, and you'll add years to your life.
That's why I like the Mel Robbins book, The Let Them Theory. I think that's why
love that.
so many people that resonated with them, because it is just don't sweat the small
Yes,
stuff.
yes,
Focus on the
that's
things that are
exactly
important,
it.
your family, your friends, all of that. So.
You'll cut
Anyone
down
else?
on the amount of I have a certain name for them, but I can't share that here. But you know those worry wrinkles. We'll call them worry wrinkles.
Oh my God.
I squint. So all the squinting where you're trying to figure out certain things. Yeah, it cuts down on those. It really does. So yeah, you're welcome.
I like it. Well, I think we should end there on a positive note. Thank you, ladies.
beautiful.
Girl power for being here. And thank you to you all for spending time with us today. You can check our website for more of our content. And you can always send us an email to share your thoughts. Don't forget to enjoy your new day, and we'll see you next time.